Sorry for the small room. Next time we're in the big one. So, guys, I have 2 questions for you. First one is super easy, like super easy. What's your name? That's right. The second one is a little bit more challenging. Why are you here today? But just in a few sentences, 1 or 2 sentences, okay? Let's start from this side, please.
Hello, my name is Ksenia, and I need more practice in English. That's why I tried to visit this club. And I think it will be interesting.
Okay, thank you, Ksenia.
Hello, my name is Olga. I wanted to visit such club for many years, and I want to learn English much better than now.
Hello, my name is Valeria. I'm here just to improve my English speaking skills and to get a promotion in my work and to get masters abroad, maybe in Belgium or France. Yeah, this is why I'm here. I'm currently studying French as well, but English I just want to be better.
Yeah, thank you.
Good evening, my name is Kate. Several weeks ago I met my classmate in Moscow City where I'm working, and he told me that in this library there are a lot of events and they're very interesting, so I decided to go to the website of the library, and I was really surprised when I see such an opportunity to improve English.
Thank you. So, hello, how are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Good, thank you. What's your name?
My name is Oleg.
Okay, nice to meet you. We're just, so these old people came here for the first time,
Okay.
and I'm just asking them why they came here.
Mhm,
I'm
okay.
gonna ask you the last, okay?
It's first
Or
day
now. Okay.
because I have the gym coming. Sorry. So I'm coming before practice my English language. And I want to discuss is our topics. That's all.
Okay, alright, thank you. Thanks for that. And now let's continue over here.
Finally. Yes, my name is Max, and there are actually 3 reasons why I'm here. The first one is the stage fright, so I want to fight my stage fright. The second one is to improve my spoken English, obviously. And the final one, to meet new people. That's all. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Hello, my name is Julia. I'm here because first I would like to be more successful in public speech, and secondly I would like to improve my English skills. So, thanks.
Hello, my name is Svetlana. I started learning English about 4 years ago. I'm really good at reading, but really bad at listening and speaking. So that's why I'm here. And I really missed English. Learning English.
Hello, I'm Kos, the short form from Konstantin. So I'm here just curious and trying to find the way to avoid writing my diploma.
Hello, my name is Sergey. I am an entrepreneur, and I came to fact that for doing better business, I need both English and both public speaking skills. So I'm here.
Yeah, that's the right place for you. Thank you. Please, guys, take your seats and please give a big round of applause for our newcomers. Now, this is not not the only time you're on the stage. First, today we'll have some prepared speeches. After that, we'll have a break, after which we'll have a table topic session, when I would like all of you guys to again come back to the stage and practice your public speaking and English. Now, before we begin, I'd kindly ask you to put your mobile phones on silent. Please, don't turn them off, just on silent, because you don't want to disturb the speakers. And now, I would like to invite to the stage our brave Toastmaster, who has just kicked the camera, from Moscow Free Speakers Club, Evgeny Latin.
Thank you, Diana. Thank you. I'm actually not the one with the prepared speech today, so what you're gonna see in a few hours maybe, it's a complete improvisation. Actually, I'm for the first time here, as many of you, I mean, in this library, yeah? And it was actually
the first time in my life when the question which I asked on the street, how to get to the library, was not a pickup line. Yeah. So guys, tonight I decided to make a topic so you can a little bit think what you're gonna be when you become like a supreme leader. Yeah, please take a seat. Yeah, take a seat. You don't disturb me. Like if you become a president of Russia, let's imagine that you become a president of Russia. Yeah, and what are you gonna do? What are gonna be your 3 first reforms, for example? Yeah, how you gonna change our country? So it's gonna be the topic of our meetings today, if I were president of Russia. And the speakers and other people who has roles and who will come to the stage, they will answer these questions. First of all, I will answer this question. If I were president of Russia, what I would do? Actually, first of all, I would make our country more open to the foreigners, yeah, because you all remember the FIFA World Cup probably, yeah, and lots of foreigners came to Russia, but unfortunately from Mexico and from other countries of the third world. They are great guys, but for example, I want to see more Americans, more English guys and all other people, so I will make visas more easy to accept. And I will make some changes in West climate, and probably I will actually reform some other social sectors. But okay, it's not about me. I mean, this meeting is not about me. Do we have the Tabrista give? Diana, do we have Tabrista give here? No, the thought of the day.
He still hasn't come.
Okay, we don't have the thought of the day today. So I invite to the stage our timer, Tatiana Notosheva. Welcome here, Tatiana. Hi. Please tell us what is your role today. I know that it's very important, but I guess you can share it with people here.
Hello, today I will be your timer, and I will show this time signals. If somebody gets a minimum possible speech, I will show green. If it will be, if he will be, say it.
Exceeds probably, yeah.
If he exceeds, if he will be close to the full speech, I will show yellow, and if he will reach the maximum limit of speech, I will show red. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tatiana.
And it is very important to say that 5 minutes is a minimum for prepared speech, and 7 minutes is a maximum for prepared speeches.
Yeah, Tatiana, and please tell you, how would you reform our country? Yeah, I see that you are gonna be strict today, yeah, so you're a strict leader today, you show them signs and tell them go from the stage. So how would you reform our country?
Actually, I like the President Vladimir Putin, and
okay, it's right way to say.
That he is a good choice.
Of course, it's right way to say. Yeah. Okay, so KGB has heard you, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take a seat. Okay, another role is also really important, because you may hear some bad words at your speech, like oh so and other stuff, yeah? We all say it in Russian, in English, Spanish, it doesn't matter. At every language we have these bad words, garbage words. And I invite to the stage our accountant, Anna Bugorskaya. Sorry. Anna, hello once again. Yeah. She has very handshake, yeah. Just very harsh handshake, yeah. Okay.
She's an accountant.
Yeah. Also very strict role.
My dear Toastmaster and dear guests, as Mark Twain said, eloquence is an essential thing in a speech, not information. And to keep the speeches eloquent helps a lack of crutch words such as like, I know, you know, unnecessary sounds like and I will help you make your speeches today more eloquent. I'll count such crutch words and make a report after these speeches. That's all.
Thank you. And what about reform in our country? Yeah.
I'm afraid I'm a political person.
Okay, okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Well, yeah, she has actually just combined the two roles. Yeah, she gave us the great thought. Yeah, Mark Twain. It was cool. Yeah, and you also explained your role. It was great. We actually, at every meeting we have a thought of the day. It's a guy who comes here and says some smart stuff. Yes, not the stuff I'm telling you, and other stuff more smarter. But unfortunately he's absent today, so actually I guess Anna has already replaced him. Okay, wow. We have already came to the most important and the most exciting part of our meeting. It's prepared speeches. And we don't have the first speaker, but we have the second speaker, yeah? The second speaker, who is the first speaker actually, today is Natalia Kazakova. And I don't know the title of her speech, so she will tell you herself. Hello, Natalia.
Hello, evening.
Hello, hello.
So my speech is a bit improvised, but I have something interesting to tell you, and I hope that you will be interested in what I'm telling. So for this speech I was inspired by my condition I felt a couple of weeks ago, and which was happily remarked a bit by a book I started to read on this weekend. You will understand later why happily remarked. So I was on way to work after my morning dance class. I was extremely happy. I was so brave that I even could look into eyes of unknown men, what I usually don't do. And I made my work so great at this day, and I was so productive, and I inspired people at work, and I spread the happiness all around me. And I just remembered this condition, the following the flow, this condition of trance, which I always had when I was dancing. And I always like to dance. I like it that much that, as I already told, that I start to produce so many endorphins that it inspired other people. And it's not only about the music, it's about vibrations mostly. How do my brain appreciate the music? And it can be different kind of music. It can be classical, electronic music, doesn't matter for my brain. And this idea to start dance classes again I got when I was on my vacations, and it was a beautiful country. I was sitting on the seaside and was enjoying the beautiful water and the warmth, and I felt so free and happy. And I asked myself, what would I do if I would know that a year ago I should die? I would die. What would I do? And I replied that definitely I would laugh more often and feel less. I would travel as far as possible and as often as possible, and definitely I would dance. I just decided to go to this idea, to quit my job and start to travel to South America, doing my pole dance classes, which I'm attending now, and also having a performance like this. And in my story, within my life, I already got 2 times offers to be a go-go dancer at nightclubs, but happily I didn't accept these offers, or maybe not happily, because I'm a lawyer, and I always thought that if I got brain, probably I should use it too. And next day
I found an article about Isabel Perón. She was a dancer, and she met her future husband, who was the president of Argentina, in a nightclub where she was a dancer. And later, she became a president of the country, the first president woman in the world. So it was like a puzzle was completed. I started to think that anyway, you should follow doing about what you are passionate, because this is your path. It doesn't matter what the society will tell. It doesn't matter what other people would think about it, because I still get some replics from people who still judge me. How can I dance wearing so short shorts and publish it on Instagram, for example? But I'm really proud of what I'm doing, and I know how much do I invest in it, and how it's difficult for me every time to overcome the fear, to stay on hands downstairs and to climb this pole, and how much do I train. And but still, this idea about how to use my brain properly didn't leave me. So I didn't quit job. I am not a pole dancer yet. I'm still a lawyer. And this weekend I started to read a wonderful book which helps to organize this house of my thoughts in my brain. The name of the book is Flow, and the author is Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi. I will write you the name later because it's very difficult even to remember. He is an American psychologist, and this book he wrote based on research he did, and it confirmed by real experiences, by experiments he made. And what he explained, that everything we do in our life, we should do following the flow. That we can feel this happiness of everything we do. And he gave an example of how people who do ordinary job, just like packing stuff, they improve the result every day, and they are proud of what they do at the end of the day, because they overcome it. So they fight with themselves of doing something better, and you know that everything you do, you can do a bit better, everything you do. And he suggested, it's a incredible book. It's a lot of things to understand. For example, how does our brain work? Because we got firstly limbic systems, which is reliable only for our instincts, for survival instincts. That's why we still easily get happiness when we just eat tasty food or have a nice conversation with between genders, because it's provide us with survival. So we have to reproduce if we want to survive, and we have to satisfy ourselves if we want to survive. And but fortunately, we got another part of our brain, our neurolines, neural system, which helps us to feel the pleasure of the life in its fullness. And what he suggested, he suggested a tool. You have to fix during the day your mood. How does it change? For example, how does it change? What influence on you? Like, for example, you have 100 scores when you talk to your friends, and for example, you're in bad mood, or almost 0 when you do your home task. And by the way, doing home, being a cleaner, this is the awful thing you can do. This is definitely doesn't provide you of happiness. And when you make this your own marks in front of the things you do, you can get your own tool what makes you happy. And this is very necessary to make your individual system. So this is no any direct advice to everyone what you have to do, but you can explore yourself, analyze yourself. What do you do, and make your recipe of your own happiness.
Thank you. Very, so fast. Anyway, thank you for the great speech. It was so deep and great. Okay, guys. Actually, I will give you 1 minute. Yeah, you can go through this. Yeah, these links. I guess not this links. Okay. Yeah. You can go through this link, evaluate, and actually, can you please step aside so they can scan your. No, I will ask you a question first while they actually evaluating you. And evaluate Natalia, please. Yes. Please use this QR or this link and evaluate Natalia. Natalia, and while they are evaluating you, answer me a question. Yeah, I think if you become a president, you will actually make a pole dance in some kind of the special political program. Yeah, you actually almost encouraged me to do the pole dance. You know? Yeah.
I encouraged today, by the way, on interviews, because I'm applying for a new position, and I always was proud telling about this. So
that was great. That was great. But what would you do if you were president? You know, first of all,
if I what?
If you become a president. President of Russia, yes.
President of Russia.
Yes, like Vladimir Putin, not like him because he is inevitable. Like him. Yeah.
You know that it's very difficult question because it's not about only the measures you have to do. I think that the president can't change the country. We have to start with ourselves, because the mentality of our country, the huge amount of people in general don't respect others out, but they don't first respect themselves. So probably I would implement psychological classes at school, and which helps to learn people how to understand yourself, how to explore yourself, how to relate, how to build relations, how does the world organize, not just what is it, physics, mathematics, how to count,
but how to respect the government. Yes. It's right, that's right, yes, it's the right reform. Thank you, Natalia, thank you. Okay, it was a great speech, but we have two more great speakers today. And I invite to the stage Artur Tuzbekov. Tuzbekov, right? Yeah. Okay, this is his speech. I don't know the title too, but he will tell you.
Good evening, dear Toastmaster members, dear guests. Today my speech related to communication styles. What is communication styles? It's the way in which person interact with each other, sending each other intentional or non-intentional messages. There is many different classifications on communication styles. But all of them agreed on the following, that in order to have effective communication, you have to understand your own style. You have to understand the style of a person with whom you interact. And you have to adjust for team in order to adopt to a team style or situation. So my presentation would be about, I'm going to tell you about different classifications, and I'm going to inform you about 4 different types of communication styles. And after that I will tell my story which happened with me because I didn't apply that principles of effective communications. I have a question, how many of you here are fan of Game of Thrones?
You're not gonna spoil?
No. I didn't see the last scene.
I can spoil for you.
No. And I'm a fan of Game of Thrones.
Everybody will die.
I'm a fan of Game of Thrones. For fans of Game of Thrones, it would be a little bit easier because my communication styles would be based on characters from that movie. First communication style, it's direct. Cersei Lannister. It's queen of the 7 kingdoms, and it's like a president. Today we have such team. President of 7 kingdoms. It's a very powerful woman. She's decisive, competitive, independent, and confident. And when you're dealing with such type of person, you have to be very precise and provide only information which you asked for, because in other case you could be died. In that movie it happens all the time. The next next communication style, it's Tyrion Lannister. It's her brother. It's one of the funniest guy in that movie. He's like a soul of a company. He wants to be in the center of each meeting, and when you're dealing with such person, allow them to be themselves. They want to share stories, yes, you share, listen, laugh at their stories, and in that case you will have effective communication with them. The next communication style is Jon Snow. It's probably the new president of Seven Kingdoms. Nobody know, or maybe only me know, who doesn't know, because I missed the last one. And such kind of persons, he is calm, steady, and in order to have effective communication with such kind of guy, he's very kind of person, and he wants to be right, and you have to earn his trust. It's not such kind of persons didn't make decisions very quickly. They need to think through it, and sometimes they think that they are indecisive, but actually they think, and they need to make right decision. And the last one, it's analytical. It's Sam Voltarli. He's some kind of nerd from that movie. He's very interested on numbers, on books, and he gain all information from different source of informations. And when you deal with such persons, you have to speak on their languages. You have to provide them analytical information based on some research which you make before. That's all about analytical styles, and according to my project I have to evaluate myself which kind of communication style I have. I want to ask a person who know me, Diana, what do you think about my communication style?
Analytical.
Okay, that's
No.
She just called you a nerd. You
yeah,
understand?
yeah. but I'm happy that she's wrong. According to evaluation which I had, my style is direct mostly, because we have all combination of styles, and actually maybe here I'm more analytical, but actually I'm more direct. And my story is about such styles. Probably earlier it was like another diagram. Here I was more direct. And about 1 year ago, some reorganization happened in our company. I was my boss left the company, and he was absolutely happy with my performance and so on. And I was think, oh, okay, I will easily go to the new department, so on. But I was happen. It happened that few people told me, no, you are a great guy. You have wonderful performance, but it's very hard to read with you on something. You are always conflict guy, because I was direct, and I fight for my decisions very hardly. And since that, I changed a little bit, and I think that no, I hope that they now see myself as a different guy, and I'm trying to be more initiating, supportive, and so on. So. It's all, and just quick overview. There are 4 different styles: direct, supportive, initiating, analytical, and principle of effective communications. Understand your own style, understand their style, and adapt if necessary. Thank you very much.
Artur, thank you. Thank you so much. Don't forget to evaluate this guy, please. Artur, don't run away, please. Yes. Don't forget to evaluate him. Yeah. Use this link. Where is this link? Oh, yeah. Here.
No, it's not registered.
Sorry. Yeah, this link. Yes, so evaluate him. Artur, while they actually evaluating you, I want to ask you a question and spoil you Game of Thrones. No, of course I wouldn't spoil you Game of Thrones. So, tell me, if you were a president, yes, what kind of president would you be from this Game of Thrones TV series? Who do you like most on the throne? I changed my question a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah,
just for him because I love this TV series.
I like mostly Jon Snow because he's a guy who have a lot of power, but he's not seeking for that power. It just came to him, and he could rule everybody, idolize him, but he doesn't look like a greedy for power person.
Okay, thank you. You seem like a screenwriter of Game of Thrones. Spoiler alert. Okay. So guys, you have already actually evaluated him, yeah? Do you need more time or you have finished? Audience! Hello! I'm here, yeah, finished. That's good. Okay, and we have the last, but not least of course, speaker, Natalia Shurova.
1 second, please.
Huh?
I need to finish evaluation.
I need to finish evaluation, okay. Okay, no problem. And okay, she's finishing evaluation.
Because I'm evaluated of Artur and I'm
Okay, take your time. Okay, take your time. Okay, guys, we are
we can
waiting.
talk about politics a little bit more.
Okay, about politics. Actually, if I would, who actually like Game of Thrones here? He has already asked. Not so many people. You really don't watch? All of you don't watch Game of Thrones? You should.
I started
You started. That's great. It's actually damn good TV series.
Why do you recommend to watch it?
Okay, from the beginning I actually watched it because it was a lot of nudity and deaths, but after that I grew up.
Slowly coming.
Yeah, I grew up and decided that I watch it because it has a really great plot twists. Because plot twists in the first seasons are unique. You have never seen any twists like it in any other movie or TV series or anything. It's just something amazing, you know, because like you're watching the guy, the character, you like him, really like this character, and suddenly he just chopped his head off,
But
and
what can
he's
you learn
dead.
from this? It's only for pleasure, or you can learn something from it?
You can learn something actually. You can
What
learn
exactly?
about. You can learn first of all about the English history because it's a fantasy world, but it's absolutely correlate with the War of Roses. War of Roses, yes, you know this from English history. Yeah. Okay. I don't have time. I will explain you later. Yeah. So Natalia.
Yes.
Natalia. Hello.
Hello.
All stage is yours.
Could you please switch on the air conditioners?
Yes. Okay, Natalia, yeah, take your time and start, please.
So, dear guests, dear Toastmasters, please raise your hand who use Apple mobile phones, laptops, or devices from Apple.
Everything.
Not
all
Apple.
three.
Apple.
Or
Is it
Apple?
good?
Not or Apple?
Yes. Oh, Apple. Is it good?
Of course, it's awesome.
Today I'm going to talk about Apple founder Steve Jobs. My research is based on the very famous speech Connecting the Dots, which Steve Jobs made back in 2005 during Stanford commencement address. Who is familiar with the speech, by the way? 1, 2, 3, good. You will help me, please. So I will talk about 2 from 3 stories, each of which will reveal the different aspects of his life and his career, and probably will help you with your career or with your life as well. So the first story is about connecting the dots. His biological mother was unwed college graduate who decided to put him on adoption. She felt very strongly that he should be adopted by a college graduate. So everything was set up to be adopted at the birth by a lawyer and his wife. At the very last moment, they decided that they really wanted a girl. So his parents got a call in the middle of the night. We have an unexpected baby boy. Do you want him? They said, of course. His biological mother later on found out that his mother had never graduated from the high school and that his father had never graduated from the college. She refused to sign the final adoption papers. She only did it 2 months later when his parents convinced her that he will someday go to university. And he did, 17 years later.
But he naively chose the very expensive college with the price almost as expensive as Stanford. It was Reed College. And he dropped 6 months later. He realized that he didn't see the value in this college, and simultaneously he was not ready to spend all his working class parents' savings for the education, which he didn't understand why he should attend to these classes. So he dropped and he was on the street. And this time he didn't have the job, he didn't have the room, so he had to sleep on in his friend's room. He had to collect Coke bottles to give them back for 5 cents and to get cash for the food. Each Sunday night he goes 7 miles across all city to get one good free meal a week in the Hare Krishna temple. But he was absolutely happy. At that time, Reed College offered perhaps the best calligraphy classes in the country. Each wall, each and every poster was beautifully handily calligraphed. Steve Jobs decided, so I don't have classes, why not to try this one? He started to attend the classes and he started to learn about serifs, sans serifs, how to vary the different amount of spaces between various letter combinations. So about everything which made the great typography great. At this time it was no practical implication in his life. It was just a wasting of time. He just did what he loved. But 10 years later, when he created his first computer, Macintosh computer, it all came back to him. Because Macintosh Mac was the first computer with the beautiful great typography. So the takeaway message, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking back. So you need to believe that the dots will somehow connect you in the future. The second story is about the love and the loss. Steve Jobs was lucky. He found what he really loved to do when he was 20. They started Apple in his parents' garage with his partner Steve Wozniak when he was both of them was 20 and 23 years old. So at 10 years the company become very, very big, and so now it's the company with $1 trillion market capitalization, and they really created the big company from nothing. At 30 years old he was fired from the Apple. Who knows about that fact?
I know.
You watched the speech, but for me it was something new. So he was fired from the company, and he realized that it was the best thing which happened with him, because after this he can feel himself begin again. He found a company named Pixar. Pixar now is the most successful animation studio in the world. At some point of the life, Apple bought Pixar, so Steve Jobs became the employee of Apple once again. So the takeaway message from this story: don't lose faith. So life sometimes push you, challenge you, and hit you. You need to be truly satisfied with what you are doing, and the only way to be truly satisfied with what you are doing is to do great job. And the only way to do great job is to do what you love. So if you didn't find it yet, keep looking for it. Don't settle.
Thank you. Thank you for the great speech. It was a great conference. Okay, no problem. So just please evaluate the speaker. Yeah. Don't forget to evaluate the speaker. And guys, actually, now we are done with the prepared speeches, and we will have a little short break. Yeah, during this break you can enjoy these great meals that we have. Yes, everything, you can take everything what you want, but please don't forget to donate. To donate 100 rubles is totally enough. Donation is just for this eating and the further operation of our club. So please don't forget to donate. We use this box, yes, I guess. So please donate to this box 100 rubles. It's enough. And after the break, all newcomers actually will have the really unique opportunity to participate in the table topics. I don't know the topic of table topics yet, but actually it's gonna be something great. So now please enjoy the break, and after the break please participate in table topics. It's a really great opportunity. So yeah. I guess so. No. I just came here. I don't even know what's happening.
Recording with the book, this is normal condition of the brain to be lazy, and it provokes you to be
behind you.
You know, because I think that the world has become a really normal place right now. Yes. And actually also the borders and states, it's a little bit outdated. Yes, and more people they actually call themselves the citizens of the world. And I actually just follow this idea, yeah, because I think that we should interact, we should actually share our cultures and become the world, make the world like just a global place where we can all live together. Yes, that's bad. Yeah, but it's still happening, you know? American I guess you don't have the right stage. The second most important and exciting part of our meeting. And I encourage all the newcomers, please, we have a lot of newcomers today, yeah? All newcomers, please participate in it. We will have an awesome table topic right now. I've just knew the table topic, but I wouldn't tell you because Irina Suvorova, she will tell you the table topic of today. Oh, it's even stronger handshake. So, Irina, the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Zhenya. Hi to everyone. Hello, dear newcomers. Yes, dear Toastmasters. We spoke today about leadership, about changes in our country, about changes in our life during prepared speeches. But what is the previous step of this? Our election as a leader. How could we convince our future team to elect us as a leaders? While entering a university, finding a new job, building a new team. Let's imagine different situations. Actually, I have imagined it. I have 10 different questions for you. Imagine different situations and build our pre-electing speech. And I would remind you about the time. We have our timer here, and she will show you green signal after 1 minute, yellow signal after 1 minute and a half, and red signal when you have to finish after 2 minutes. So you have 2 minutes for your prepared speech, and also you have additionally some seconds, 30 seconds for preparation in silence. I encourage you again, newcomers, to participate in this table topic session. We have exactly 10 newcomers today, I saw, and we have 10 questions. So, who will be the first newcomers in this?
Come on, guys, it's very important.
Max? Yes?
Please applause.
Take the stage.
So,
Please, you can read your question.
my question is President of Russia.
No, yeah, read.
President of Russia pre-election speech. So I have 30 seconds, yes? To
Yes,
prepare.
if you want.
Yes, I do, actually. the pre-election speech. I'm ready actually.
Okay,
I
let's
would
start.
yes, I would rely on my vice president topics. The first one is actually bringing more foreigners to the country. Why do you guys think that foreigners are really needed in our country? Can you raise the hands who think that they are really in need? So that like half of us think that they are actually in need. And I think that the first move of mine would be to give some passports to Ukrainian foreigners. Who do you think that Ukrainian foreigners are really in need in Russia? less than a 50%. So that's why I think that actually to populate the huge area of Russia, we need more people. And actually there is a tiny population of Russia of like 1.5 million of people, and that's not enough to populate all of our area. So my first proposition is to give many passports to Ukrainians. What was the second actually?
Second idea, investment climate.
Yeah, the investment, I don't know anything about investment climate, but I think that somebody of you will help me. So my proposition for you is to raise your hands for those who are into the investments or some other kind of business. There are few of us, so actually I invite you to join my join me in my fight with another candidate.
Some kind of delegation,
Yeah. And what is the third one?
Social policy, you know,
The
this
social yeah,
retirement, all this stuff, yeah?
Yeah, actually some social stuff that Evgeny will tell us after me. So guys, please vote for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Maxim.
So,
who will be the next?
Yeah, please, guys, don't forget to evaluate. Yeah, you actually after. It's after. Yeah.
Voting will be after.
Sorry.
Yes.
Okay, don't listen to me.
Who will be the next? Newcomers, please. This and you after.
She is not a newcomer.
Not a newcomer. I will think about this. What is your name?
Zhenya.
Zhenya?
Yeah, Zhenya. Fast dating speech, why your interlocutor should choose you after 2 minutes of the conversation, as if I'm dating with someone, right?
Do you know what is fast dating?
Not really.
It is a group dating with the changes of the partners every 2 minutes. And during 2 minutes, you should convince your partner if you liked him. And I guess this situation is you liked it.
Okay.
That he would invite you on the date.
Yeah. Okay. So I have
like Tinder, but in real life. Yeah?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. You have several seconds for thinking in silence.
I think I will go just straight.
Okay. Let's.
To be spontaneous. So okay, it's kind of weird because like I have the whole audience as my potential dates, both females and males, right? So I will try to convince everyone not to get like some sexist discrimination in here. So the first thing is that I have a very good sense of humor. So I'm very funny and I'm very spontaneous as well. So I don't really cook, but I guess it's not an issue, right? I guess like guys these days are trying to cook more while girls are working and doing like all the hard work. But maybe it's just like my point of view, but I'm trying to be like more progressive, so I think this way. So the first point is that I'm funny. This is the first reason why you should choose me, right? The second reason is I'm very energetic and very proactive and initiative. So you won't get bored with me. As I said, I'm very spontaneous as well. So I will do different kind of activities, and I will encourage you to participate in clubs like this, and also maybe to go to some exotic countries, to Madagascar and countries like that. And this is the second reason. And the third reason is that I can talk about Korea, right? So if you're interested in finance or if you're interested in business, in entrepreneurship, we can talk about it and we can discuss, and I can share my knowledge about it. So I think this was the 3 reasons why you should choose me. And I can provide many more, but I'm humble as well, so yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Zhenya. Who will be the next?
Hi, Julia.
Okay. Your name?
Vera.
Yeah.
So choose this one. Interview speech, position of the island supervisor, Pacific Ocean. So it means that I'm like doing a job interview and I should introduce myself.
It is a job interview on the position of the island in Pacific Ocean, supervisor. Смотритель острова.
Yeah, I understand.
Yes. Yes. So it is like a job of the dream. There were in the internet a very huge article last year about this occasion.
So I should just tell maybe my potential boss about why
why
he
we
should
have
choose
to
me?
choose you as a supervisor for the island.
Oh well, okay. Quite challenging task, but well, I'll try. Well, the very first reason why I'm here and why I want to be an island supervisor is that I can walk like 40,000 steps per day, and this is something that just comes naturally. Well, I just can come and enjoy the view. The second one is that I'm a very good swimmer. I had previously been participating in the professional competitions, and maybe the third reason is that I'm just someone who can chill and tell something nice about that chilling is nice, and why not to make chilling as an indispensable part of your life? Well, why not? And the last but not the least is that I've got a lawyer degree. I'm this is why I can chill but do it very in a wise way. So maybe it can be a good contribution to your island to have a sportive chilling lawyer. Yeah.
Thank you. Let's move. You? Who will be the next?
Come on, newcomers. You see.
Newcomers.
Please.
I see you already.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
yes.
Please, come to the stage. What is your name?
It's really difficult to write. Whoa.
Okay.
You're pretending to organize the New Year party for
You are pretending to organize New Year party for Toastmasters.
who they are.
Very interesting question. Toastmasters clubs.
Can you speak please a little bit louder? It's really hard to hear you.
Yeah, I will try.
We have several Toastmasters clubs in Moscow, and we have Moscow area committee who organize the work of all these clubs. And once a year we organize New Year party. And this year you want to organize New Year party for Toastmaster.
Why?
Hypothetical situation.
So I'm pretending.
Yes, you are
Very
pretending.
nice.
Yes. Why we should choose you as a leader of our party?
So
Maybe
I
just-
have a friend who could just wear all of this stuff to look like a Santa Claus, and probably we could wrap some presents for all of you. And I don't know, could we? But we need to get somewhere the Christmas tree for this party. So after all of this official part of the party, we could just make some crazy stuff like dancing and I don't know, the running naked on the street.
In the view with the photo.
In the winter, of course, craziness. So that's why you probably don't want to hire me as the organizer for the New Year party. But yeah, I'm still pretending.
we will think about your candidature.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Paul. Who will be the next? Okay. Svetlana.
You and your friends are planning to organize a barbecue with sports and fun games. Why your friends should choose you as a chief? Chief?
Chief on the
Oh.
party. Party again.
Okay, first of all, I'm really good at making lists. So I start preparing for this barbecue really early with all. I'm gonna ask everybody about the dishes from menu. I can really good cook. I don't like it, but I'm good at it. I will be really nervous about preparing the party, and the party. I'm gonna be exhausted and angry, maybe get drunk fast, but you gonna be really enjoying this party. And of course, I choose a very beautiful place for this barbecue.
Sounds interesting.
Yes.
Thank you.
Especially when I'm drunk.
Thank you, Sveta. How much time we have?
We have still some
We have still. Okay, we have still time for several newcomers. Your name?
Kate.
No.
Wow.
What's there?
Entrance exam in the Theater Institute, actor's monologue.
Oh, interesting.
You want to enter in the Schuken or I don't know.
Meerholt.
Meerholt. Yeah.
So, all my life I was dreaming about to be an actor, and I have a lot of films when I like to see, but I'm really afraid of public, and but maybe I will be useful in dancing because I'm dancing since 6 years, and we participate with my partner on different competitions in balloon dancing. So, but I have, if I'm here, I have a great potential for studying, and if you provide me some text for some text for monologue. For monologue, yes. I think it is possible to learn this and to provide it to public.
Very nice. We will provide you such a opportunity. Thank you, Kate. The next one.
Let's give it a try.
Okay. What's your name?
My name is Sergey.
Sergey.
Oh. Class monitor in your university group. Pre-election speech. What is class
Староста.
monitor?
Староста группы.
So, maybe I am not good at improvising speeches, but what I'm good at is class monitoring. I know how to take a class journal with me, and I am able to do it during the whole day. So I think I will be really good at that. I even think I have a talent of that. So I think you should elect me for this job.
Thank you, Sergey.
Thank you.
Sergey did us several times, several minutes more. Thank you. Your name?
Julia. My task is relationship proposal speech. Why a future partner should choose you. Well, I think that I am perfect for this, not job position, but a relation proposal, because I am person who is matched to you, of course, because I think we have some relationship during 5 years, and I think that if you haven't gave me before, I think that I rather good for you. I can I cook in a perfect way. I make you laugh, and I think that sometimes when we have some evening boring meetings, I can could make you happy and and very impressive with my news from my day. So that's why I think we can have great children, because we have both great genetic qualities, I don't know, and I think that it would be rather nice.
Thank you. Proposal. Last two questions are not about relationship.
Unfortunately.
Your name?
Olga. Olga. I'm very worried, but we're only two and I have no chance. So, position according to your specialty.
Job interviews.
Yes. Can I choose any position? Any
position.
I want. Okay. I want to be a pricing manager. I have a lot of experience in figures. I very like maths at school and at university, and I have been working for 10 years in a big telecommunication company where I had a big position there. I was chief of department in pricing, and I can tell you everything about wireless internet and about different operator in Moscow and in other countries and in other towns of our city or our country. I'm very worried, sorry. It's very hard to speak in Russian, but English it's more hard. I think it's enough.
Olga, thank you. Our time is finished now. So take your smartphones and vote by QR code in our Google form on WorldSurfers.ru for the best speaker of table topics tonight. Our table topic speakers was Max, President of Russia, Zhenya, Fast Datings, Valeria, Island Supervisor, Kos, New Year Party for Toastmasters, Svetlana, Organizing Barbecue Party, Kate as an actress, Sergey as a class monitor, Julia, relationship, and Olga, job interview. So please vote, and I take the stage again to Evgeny Larin.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you once again. Hot handshake. And actually, my watch is almost over. Ah, yeah, vote please. Vote please, yeah. But still, my watch is over tonight, and I give the stage to our general evaluator of tonight, Sergei Balmashov. Yeah, please applause this guy. He's great. He's even greater than me sometimes.
Thank you very much, Evgeny, for this colorful introduction. So guys, now we came to the final stage, the most important stage in our meeting. So what we're here for? Of course, to enjoy applause, public attention, to give something to the audience. But the most important part comes later, when we get evaluated, and when we get feedback, and we can base your opinion about yourself, and we can base our growth on that feedback. So I've got a special team for personal evaluators, 3 personal evaluators, as well as the team of 2 experts who will give you the feedback on how we performed, how we spoke, and which did we have we exceeded time limits or not. So let's start with the personal evaluators first. And I'd like to invite here on stage the personal evaluator of the Natalia Kazakova speech, Evgenia Glinskaya. Welcome.
Natalia, first of all, thank you for your speech. So what I really like in your speech, it is that you was very self-confident, that it was very easy to understand your language. Also, it was very clear for me. Voice was very stable. Sometimes you use the eye contact. It also was great and nice. What you made to work on? So maybe you can think how to make more movement on the stage. For example, you speak about dancing. So we
Can you show me how to do it?
Yes. Yes, you could show us some part from the dancing. I think you could have more attention of the people if you could show us something. So I think it would be a great idea for the next speech. So what I think you need to change yourself. It looks like that your speech was not really prepared well. So I had the same mistake on the same path. So I will make my speech again. So I also advise to do it once again, maybe with dancing again. So then also the structure of the speech. So you also can work on it to think more why it would be interesting for the audience. So to really to think about this concept, because you spoke about book, you spoke about dancing. So it was what I remember from your speech. It is book, dancing, and you speak about brain. So
Isabel Peron.
Yes, Isabel Peron. Yes, it was interesting, quite interesting. But if you put in the end to put some really the goals of your speech, what you really want us to remember, to repeat again in the end, so it would be really nice. So to work more for concept and structure. So that's all. I think it was good and nice. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Evgenia. I want to shake your hand, by the way. But anyway, thank you so much for your evaluation. You were confident, and I like your evaluation enough. However, I'd like to suggest you a very important thing. The audience wanted to know, I guess, what the speech was about, what the goals of the speech were, so that they had sort of a clue on which criteria you are evaluating Natalia. Okay, so it's very important to know for the audience. So it's not only the talk between you two, but you are delivering something to the greater audience. But anyway, that's good. And I think you've made more points for Natalia to think about in the next stage. But anyway, I think you have a good basis for next evaluations, so do that next time. The next personal evaluator who will evaluate Arthur's backup speech is Natalia Shurova. Welcome.
So, dear guests, dear Toastmasters, I will evaluate Arthur, and actually I'm in a little bit difficult condition because I'm a newcomer and Arthur is here like for a long time, I suppose. So it's difficult to say who is evaluate who on the stage, but I will try. I will do my best. So the general observation is the following: the purpose of the statement was, the purpose of the project was that the member to learn about different communication styles and identify his or her primary style. So my general idea on the very first moments was that actually this topic is something which professors in the universities teach like years. So actually, me personally, I didn't catch the idea, and I think it's not because of Arthur. I think this is because of the topic was very deep. So that's why I would like to say that probably it should be structured somehow different. It's not again about Arthur, it's about the general topic. So I didn't catch the idea. I didn't understand each and every point in the presentation. So it was difficult for me. But again, it's not for Arthur. It's more maybe for the topic. Speaking about the pros, I really enjoyed the quality of your slides because I'm a very big fan of visuals, and the quality of visuals was very, very good. So thank you for that. I really appreciate the idea. I think for this topic, it's really difficult to find something which is not boring. You find really the good one, you find really good movie, and I think it was your idea, right? I think it was difficult to find, and so you did a great job. And I like your interaction with the audience because you always ask questions, you always try to interact audience, so you didn't allow people to sleep, you didn't allow people to check their phones, so it's always very good. And why the second time green? It's yellow.
It's like
okay.
It's first time.
The only one comment which probably you can improve on is the pace of the speech. So sometimes for me it was a little bit faster. So I always prefer, I have always this mistake by myself as well, because when you are very deep in the topic, you try to deliver as much information as possible. So maybe, yes, I know that you would like to teach your audience as much as possible, but sometimes it's better, but less is more. So sometimes it's better to deliver a little bit less, but make sure that audience will remember it. That's all from my side. Great speech, thank you.
Thank you very much, Natalia, for your evaluation. And what I'd like to tell is that first of all, I want to praise you on your bravery for for being a personal evaluator, as not having as much experience as Arthur has, right? And you did really, and you were really confident, and you knew what you were talking about, which is really good. I think you're a very experienced person, in general. However, usually there are different techniques for evaluating. Some are difficult to master, some are not. And the most effective one, and I think the easiest one, is so-called the sandwich technique. Is when you give good points first, then you give some critique, constructive critique, and then you finish with good points as well. Because when you give some critique first, people get into denial. A person gets into denial, and they can't appreciate the rest. So it's better to tell something good, then points for improvement, and then wrap up with good points in the end. Overall, very nice. And the last but not the least, as we usually say here, Maria Klimkina will evaluate Natalia Shurova's speech. Welcome, Maria.
Thank you so much. Good evening, dear fellow Toastmasters, dear guests, dear Natalia.
It's a great pleasure to evaluate your speech, and let me congratulate you with your next project from the Pathways system. So, and also I want to thank you for the interesting topics that you shared with us. It was really cool to listen your speech. And let me connect the dots and follow for the recommendations of our ex-president of Moscow Free Speakers Club, Serge. So, I'm trying to begin with a positive evaluation of your speech. And let me say one more time that the topics that you shared with us was really interesting. I like the manner of presentations that you chose and how you started with a question with the auditorium. It was a good interactive and a positive way to connect with the auditorium, let me say. Also, also a topic and a question about Apple Gadget, what it was a way to success, because definitely it was a forest of arms, like an answer for that question. Yeah. So, also I really enjoyed phrases that you used, like, he just did what he loved, and you can't collect the dots looking forward, you can only connect them looking back. It was really nice. The big company from nothing. Well, some recommendations, Natalia. Of course, the most part of Moscow, let me say Toastmasters area, the most part of people who present their speeches are not native Englishmen or not native English women. And of course, Toastmasters, it is all about how to make a great speech and how to promote your public speaking. And in this way, let me say that exactly English is the basic thing in with presentations in English. And your grammar and the construction of sentence are quite well, pretty well. But let me recommend you to work more with your pronunciation and vocal variety, with the pace of your speech. So I recommend you to do it more confident, and I think it is a question of practice. But anyway, you did a great job, and thank you for the interesting topics that you shared with us. Keep on. Go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Maria. I also would like to know what were the goals of the project. And however, Maria is very experienced personal relator, and she is very subtle, and she can point out very specific things which people can improve on, which I really like Maria for. Good job. Next, yeah, thank you very much. I was about to tell that. So please, guys, vote for the personal relators of today, because we want to choose the best one.
Use my position.
Okay, if you're ready, I think you are. We can continue with the team of our experts. And first, I'd like to invite here on stage the account of the day, Anna Bugorska. Welcome. Applause.
Thank you. Thank you for your speeches. It was very interesting and amazing. I have made a short report of usage catchwords, and the winner of most usage of filler word, no, not you, it's Artur. Artur and Natalia. The clearest speeches were of table topics master Elena? Irina. I'm sorry. And
Sergey. His name is Sergey, if you witness him.
No, I looked at the board course, and 7 Sergey. The clearest speeches. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anna, for your report. You were confident enough, and what I like to suggest you is to you could have given people like some tips on what kind of specific filler words they have, which they can work on. For example, the Toastmaster of today, Evgeny Larin, has a very specific word, and I think you can tell him about that later after the meeting. Anna will tell you it's her job today. Okay, and next, a very important person, very important expert is the timer.